What's up guys, Dean here, and I'm recording a really weird and different video. This is more for like my main channel, but I'm putting it here in the Hunt for Games channel because it's all about gaming and it's all actually about NBA 2K18 and more importantly, how it runs and how it performs and how it plays on the Nintendo Switch. Because that's my console of choice for this game. So I'm going to go through in this video the top 5 things I don't like about it being on the Nintendo Switch and just the game in general. And then the next video series, because it's a 2-part video series for this game, the next video will be all about the stuff that I do like about the Nintendo Switch version of NBA 2K18 and just the game itself. So without any further ado, let's get into the first dislike. So the first dislike is pretty much the overall performance of the game on the Switch. So the game sort of runs well, but a lot of times you can tell this thing is it's either working the Nintendo Switch too hard, or there's just something, it was just not finished and they just brought this game that it's just performing really not to where it should be. So I've been playing NBA 2K18 either on my Xbox One or my PS4 for the past few years. I bought it on different consoles every year, and the performance has always been really good. It's always never any frames dropping. The cutscenes are always smooth. Everything of that kind of all the performance is always good. Coming over to the Switch, one of the hardest things to see is, I know it was at 30 frames a second. I'll get to that in a second, but especially in the cutscenes in handheld mode, this is where my biggest gripe with this thing is. Handheld mode cutscenes for my career are terrible. I'm gonna have 2 different examples on screen right here, and in a second I'll just go and I'll show you the complete, just with sound. It's really bad. So it drops down to maybe about 10 frames a second. The audio and the mouths are all on sync. That's all cool. But then when they're talking, it has nothing to do with what they're doing because it's a lot behind where it should be. And it's really good to watch. I'll let you guys watch a cutscene right here. I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to play it over the screen. And yeah, you can just see what I'm talking about. And this is the first thing I think they need to fix in 2K18.
Hey, man! Come on, Jug. You can't be standing behind me like that, bro. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I see you listening to that new little Uzi Vert, though.
Yeah, it's on my mix, man. It's fire.
Oh. You know I have a couple playlists on SoundCloud, right?
Oh, for real?
You should use them in your mixes, maybe.
Oh, you use SoundCloud? Yeah, man. I'm thinking about moving my vinyls to digital.
So I hope you guys now know what I'm talking about with the performance. Getting over number 2 is the frame rate. Now, I know coming into this, it was said everywhere before we even, the game even came out that, hey, it's going to be at 30 frames a second. It's not going to be at 60 frames like you're used to. And I was like, you know what? I'm not about that frame rate life. Even on my PC, I don't care about high frame rates. I'm not one that's like, oh, I can't play games on 120 frames a second or anything like that. But with such a fast-paced game like NBA, I could really notice the frame rate, and it made it feel a bit weird. And what it kind of reminded me of was like the 2K games on the iPhone a couple of years back. Kind of that frame rate, that's where I was kind of at. And then especially with the performance issues, dropping the frame rate even more in cutscenes and stuff, the frame rates are becoming an issue, but it's not as big as an issue that I have to stop playing the game. It's just something that I have noticed while playing games on my Switch. I think it's a little bit better on the TV, but it obviously doesn't change the frame rate at all. I think because, I don't know, I feel like on such a small screen, I can just see that frame rate. While it's being 30 frames a second, it just doesn't look as smooth as what I'm used to. I don't know. The third thing, and one thing that it kills me, is loading times. And the loading screens, they are just ridiculous. At one point, I actually thought my game was broken because it was stuck at 30% on the main loading screen to get into my career for so long. Now, the reason for that is my 4th point, which I'll get to when I get to it, but I just can't justify sitting there for 5 minutes. This is not a joke. I was laying in my bed, playing this with my Switch in handheld mode. I finished the game and it was loading, and I actually fell asleep because the loading screen was so long. It took that long to actually load back into my career, the place you walk around in, whatever it's called. It was just pretty damn ridiculous that I was waiting that long. And I mean, if you're just doing like a normal play now, just exhibition one-on-one game, you're not gonna have a problem. It loads really quick, and then it has like the main screen where they're all talking and stuff, and then the game loads in the background. That's all fine. But when you're going into like my career stuff, going into like the performance center, stuff like that, it just takes forever, and it really kills me. Number 4, and what I was actually trying to say before, is the file size. So the game itself, it needs a micro SD card, and I had a 32 gig one lying around, so I was like, yeah, I'll put that in. It should be enough. I pretty much maxed out my internal memory and my memory card just by loading this thing in. I actually had to archive a few different games. And the cool thing is with the Nintendo Switch, you can archive a game and it basically just deletes the game data, meaning all the files and all the saves are still there. So if you want to play the game, you just get to re-download or reinstall the game, which I think is pretty cool. What that then did, it cleared up a lot of space. It let me like load, save everything on my Switch, but the files were like 5 gigs for one save. So if you had multiple My Careers, like 3 My Careers, that's like 15 gigs of just save game data. I don't know if they can compress that at all, somehow, some way, but if they can, please do. Because us Switch owners, and I keep looking over there because I'm looking at my Switch, us Switch owners, I need a bigger micro SD card. That's the easiest thing to say. My final point here, it's something that I either completely skipped past and completely just didn't even realize it happened, or I'm just old and don't get this, or it could be completely justified. The menu systems and the tutorial systems, if there are any tutorials about how to do stuff, not very good at all. So for example, I was playing at a overall 60 for my career for about maybe 20 matches before I realized that you could using your VC, you could upgrade your different attributes. And granted, I knew you could do that before, but looking at it, I thought that the only way to upgrade it was to upgrade your player through doing the different skill tests and going to the gym and whatnot. So once I got to level 61, sorry, and I saw that just the overall that I could upgrade to went up, I realized that there was a way I could upgrade my player. I had to go actually to YouTube to figure out how to do that. So I just wish there was a way to be like, hey, you want to upgrade your player? You have the VC. Let's go show you how. Something like that, because I was wasting my VC on clothes or tattoos. I have a 2K tattoo on the back of my leg for my player because I had no idea how to upgrade anything, and I didn't think you actually could. But pretty much that is it for today's video. Don't forget to be subscribed, like, and comment to see the next video where I talk about the things I do like about NBA 2K18, because there are some legitimate things that I like about this game. But until then, don't forget to subscribe, as I said, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.